Hello, happy Thursday. I hope everyone is having a great day, depending on what time it is. Maybe you're just waking up in the morning or you've already been super productive today. Either way, I'm glad that you're watching this. I'm Tabitha Perry, and I am a life coach. Today I'm going to be talking about why we like schedules and how they benefit our life. And this is part of my scheduling hack series that's going to be going on through June. So today, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about myself, and then we're going to jump in to scheduling, what it is, why we like it, how it benefits our life, and then all of the fun hacks that I have dispersed throughout the training. So what I do is I help women rediscover their true value and worth. I want them to reclaim their confidence, courage, and contentment, and refine their life into what they want it to be. And this can look different for every person because God made us all unique. And I love having like a boutique life coaching business because I get to work with women and customize what it is that they want, and just like offer services, offer resources, listen, do what it is that they need help to support them so that way they can create the life that they want. So I'm going to get into why we like schedules and how they benefit our life. That is the title that we're going to be going through. And so we're going to go through why now more than ever schedules are important, the definition, my own definition. What do you like about schedules? Yay, hi Emily. What's your why and what motivates you to use a schedule? What a schedule gives and what a schedule takes away, which totally reminds me of that song in church about he gives and takes away. Anyhow, so why now more than ever schedules are important? Right now we've got a pandemic going on. We've got civil unrest, which equals stress. I don't know about you, but like math helps me. Like it's just like very certain. There's always like, you know what the result is. So sometimes putting things into math problems helps me. So pandemic plus civil unrest equals stress, right? Stress plus uncertainty equals more stress. However, more stress plus order and certainty equals a feeling of safety. And order and certainty plus action equals a schedule, which is what we're going for. Everything on this earth has order. Like God created it within 7 days. Like he was very specific in what he did, and then he took some time off to rest. I think that we can learn something from him, as well as just look around and things that thrive. There's just order to it. And our brain really likes order. It's kind of a lazy machine in our mind. Like it just wants to know one thing and it wants to just follow it. And so if we can give it certainty and we can give it a schedule and have habits, it really likes that. And it doesn't have to work as hard and doesn't take as much energy. So ultimately, a happy brain equals less stress. And that's all about our thinking and our thoughts. So I would love, Emily and others that are joining us, or if you're watching this at a later date, drop in the comments one emoji that you think of that resonates when you hear the word schedule. Or write in an emotion that you think of, that you feel when you hear the word schedule, because it can be all over the board. I think of like a red heart. Like I love schedules. I love routine. I just love predictability, and makes my type A personality very, very happy. So that would be mine. It would be a heart. An emotion, it's kind of like frustrating, right? Because when I think of schedule, I'm like, I have to do it right. I have to do everything perfectly, because if I don't do one thing, everything else doesn't work out. So it's kind of a complicated emotion, or range of emotions that you can have when you think of a schedule. So a definition of a schedule, there's a couple. I just think it's kind of fun to see how other people define schedules. So a plan for carrying out a process or procedure within a list of intended events and times, day-to-day plans or timetable, or a procedural plan that indicates the time and sequence of each operation. Oh, Emily, I love it. You've got the curious face and the mind blown. And Shelly, I don't see anything there, but I know you've got something for me. Going back to the definitions, I'm curious, like think in your mind how you want to define a schedule, because it doesn't matter how Webster Dictionary defines a schedule or even how I define a schedule. You need to figure out what works for you. So for me, like really thinking on this topic, it's really just like how I get stuff done. And that's probably going to look different in different seasons of my life. So it's a very like flowy definition. All right. Oh, Shelly, yes, doubt, ability to keep it. Mm-hmm. And that's hard. I want to assure you that none of us, nobody in the perfect, like nobody can keep a schedule perfectly. Yes, we are still all working on it. Absolutely. And it is totally a goal to be working towards. I love that. Ooh, Courtney, love that there are multiple types of schedules, especially for someone who loves routines and schedules. Yes, absolutely. There are different types of schedules. There are people that don't work normal shifts, right? Like Emily, your husband's a physician who works crazy hours. Your schedule is going to look very different than mine, who my husband works, kind of normal, like bank hours. And so we have to just own that that's kind of where we're at, and that's okay. So we're going to shift into 3 scheduling hacks. I said that they were going to be sprinkled through the training just to keep you excited. So number 1, group similar tasks next to each other by location, type, or effort. So when I wrote this, I was thinking of when I need to get like a bunch of errands done, I think of which stores are all in the same area. So when I have to pick up dry cleaning, go to the store, and go to the post office. Yes, some of us still go to post offices and send things like letters. I want to do that all at one time. And so I may save several of these items and just do it on one day versus going and doing it one day and then a couple of days later, I kind of knew that I was going to have to do it. It just saves time and just decreases the stress if you can kind of just group things. Hack number 2, choose one day to plan out what time you're getting up for the following week. Then do it. This is a hard one, right? Because sleep is glorious. We're supposed to be well rested. They say we're supposed to get 8 hours of sleep. And that may work for you, but maybe you need 7 or 6 hours of sleep. Maybe you need 10 hours of sleep. It really depends. But this is what you can do. On a day, my day is Sunday, I look at my week. What do I have going on? Then I choose a time that best fits it. And honestly, 5 a.m. is my golden hour. I just love it. I want to be the person that people think of that gets up at 5 a.m. because I saw my parents doing that and I really respected it. And I just have always really liked it. So there may be a time in your mind that you're like, oh man, that is a time that like, I want to be that person that gets up at blank hour. You fill in the blank. And that's great. And so set a time and then do it. And if it doesn't work for you, then readjust. That's okay. And all of these hacks, all of these ideas I'm bringing up, they aren't to add more to your plate. Like everyone has got plenty to do, plenty of things going on in their life. These ideas I'm bringing, it's really just if you're curious or you're like, that would totally work with the energy level that I've got. So anyhow, hack number 3. Set timers throughout the day so you know when to start and stop tasks. Yes, we are going back to being 5 years old. I do this for my kids. I do this for myself. For example, if I am working and I know I'm going to get in a flow and I have something that I need to shift and transition, I will set an alarm like 5 minutes before I need to do that to give me a heads up. And so I don't have to keep looking at the clock. I know my timer is going to go off at a certain time, and then that gives me a couple of minutes to finish up whatever I'm doing, and then I can transition to the next thing. So anyhow, those are a couple of my hacks. I hope that you find them interesting. Please, if you don't mind, put either hack 1, 2, or 3 if you think that you're going to try one of those out. I'd love for you to just throw it in the comments. I love to see kind of which ones inspire people or like make sense to people. I'm like, yeah, I can totally do that, because hacks aren't hacks if like no one's going to do it or they don't think it's easy. Like it's supposed to be relatively easy. So there's that. All right. Now, after you drop into the comments, the other thing I asked you, what do you like about schedules? I want you to also drop in the comments one reason you like it. And so here's kind of some options. A, I like being in control. That's me. B, I'm supposed to like them, right? Which I also like, there's a part of me. Ooh, hack number 3 for Courtney. Yes. Shelly number 2. Awesome. If you guys end up trying those hacks, let me know how they go. Let me know if there needs to be tweaks to it or if you found something that like just works slightly different. It's always fun sharing ideas because there is like no new information. Everything that you are like seeing today is probably stuff that you've heard of before, but you're just like, but now's the time to like try it because you have the energy or the capacity. So be okay with that. Shelly, you get more done with the schedule. Yes, absolutely. That is the reason. Absolutely. So we're back to some more scheduling hacks. Hacks for couples. And I realize not everyone is married. So this can also be for roommates. So kind of work with me here. So have one shared calendar. This would be something that you guys both have access to. So that way, if like, for example, I usually make dinner, my husband has already put in my calendar every day, Monday through Friday, that he gets off of work. So I know exactly when he's going to get off of work. This is assuming people do what they say that they're going to do, which is always what I want to assume. So if you have a roommate, maybe have like a shared calendar where you're like, okay, this day I'm going to make dinner at this time. And like, so you guys know, so you don't have to keep being like, hey, what time are you getting off? Or are you cooking dinner? Or am I cooking dinner? Just have a shared calendar. I use my iPhone calendar. I know a lot of people use Google calendars. Some people like to write it up. So then maybe just have it like a board that you write on somewhere in your house that you both look at. Appointments and events. Yes, you can just put everything on that calendar. So that way you don't have to keep asking. Because every time you have to shift and like keep asking, you're shifting your mind away from working on other more fun things. Another thing is that you can reassess whether your current schedule is actually like working. For example, with my husband, if he was getting off later than what he was saying he was, and then like dinner was like cold, which, you know, it could be cold regularly. I don't make elaborate meals or anything. They're pretty easy to warm up, but it's like just a way, like be okay with shifting it. Be okay that you're going to try things and it may work for a week and then the following week it doesn't. Give yourself some grace. Just align yourself with knowing like, this is an experiment. I'm just trying to get more stuff done and I'm going to do what I need to do. Ask yourself, is this causing more stress? And is this benefiting the relationship? So again, if you're a married couple or even if you have a roommate, if you guys find that you're like frustrated with each other about the schedule, that's just a really good talking point on being like, okay, so I feel this about the fact that you always have people over and I don't want people over, or just whatever the tension point is, a schedule can really reveal that, which we'll talk a little bit more here in a minute. What motivates you to use a schedule? So drop in the comments one reason you use a schedule. Number E. E, I grew up on a schedule and I'm used to it. F, it seems like the adult thing to do. G, it keeps me from going cray-cray. H, another reason. Courtney, my roommate and I have a shared calendar for our church activities, and it works really well for us. It helps us know when and if we need to do dinner early or if we are on our own for dinner. I love that, Courtney. This is great. This is why we're related. My cousin. It's awesome. I need to learn from you. You need to be telling me some of your scheduling hacks, Courtney, because you definitely have awesome scheduling skills. All right. Any other reasons that you use a schedule? Because again, we know the result. We know it's good, but sometimes it's kind of good to figure out what is driving us, because sometimes that is the only thing that can make us do it. Yeah, what motivates you to use a schedule, Shelly? You're asking the question regarding it. Mm-hmm. Siri, hello. Gee, it keeps me from going cray cray. Yes, I am on board with you. If I don't have a schedule, I just feel off. I don't know about you, but something doesn't feel right. Okay, who actually schedules out their vacations a little bit? Just because it makes me feel good. Okay, sometimes I schedule in time to be spontaneous, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Wonderful. To get more done, Shelly. Thank you. I love all these comments. Okay, what a schedule gives you: free time, goal achieving, good habits, momentum and motivation, self-confidence, and efficiency. These are really great things, right? Okay, free time. Who's ever heard of the Parkinson's law? There's a law about Parkinson's law. Okay, it's not what you think. Here's what it is, the definition. Work expands to fill the time available for its completion. Schedule it in and you'll have it. It's this idea that if you're okay, I have the whole day to clean my house, you know what? It's going to take you the whole day. But if you say, I have 2 hours to clean my house and then I got to go, guess what? You're going to actually get it done because you're going to be super, super focused. It's just this weird thing that our brain does to us when we just give ourselves tons of time. Now we have to be realistic, right? I'm going to learn how to run a marathon in a week. That's just not a realistic time frame. I can't get everything done. We're just talking about being realistic here. So when you think of doing things, set a time. And if you don't get it done within that time frame, then the next time, just expand it a little bit more. But don't give yourself too much time, because I guarantee you're going to second guess yourself. And then it's just going to take longer. All right, goal achieving. This schedules allow you to create time to actually do those steps to work towards your goals. With Parkinson's law, if you don't create that time, you're not going to have it. You're not going to have that fun time to work towards running a 10K, reading all of those books, starting your business, whatever the goal is that you're doing. So good habits. It allows you to have space to start doing the things that you want in order to create a habit. And habits are something that you do regularly that eventually becomes just part of your day. Driving your car, that has actually turned into a habit. You don't have to think much about it, which kind of goes into this idea that you need the time to create the practice for habits. You didn't just get good at driving a car one time. It took a while, took you doing it several times. So a schedule, you create time to do those good habits, to do those things that create habits. Okay, momentum and motivation. Momentum builds up into motivation. And when you're regularly doing positive things in your life, momentum is created, and then you'll find that you have motivation to do other things. Don't you find that if you wake up when you thought you knew you wanted to wake up and you did those first couple things, and you felt really good about it, your day just goes better. It just kind of builds. It's like this snowball effect. So schedule can provide that for you. Self-confidence. Ooh, I love this part. Okay, what's the foundation of a relationship? Why am I asking this question about self-confidence, right? The foundation of a relationship is trust. Self-confidence is all about your relationship with yourself and trusting yourself. You have to be able to believe that when you schedule something, you're actually going to do it. And every time you follow through, excuse me, with the things that you schedule, you're going to build trust with yourself, and that self-confidence is going to increase. Efficiency. This is the idea that you can get a lot of stuff done. Okay, I'm sure y'all know Rachel Hollis. Some of you know Jordan Lee Dooley and the President of the United States. Well, what do all these people have in common? A schedule. They didn't get to where that they're at without a schedule. They literally have the same amount of hours that we do. Weird, right? Like, think about like craziness, all the stuff that they have going on in their lives, the amazing empires that they've built, and they literally have the same amount of time that we do. So with a schedule, you all can achieve just as much as they have. We can achieve that. All right, next, what a schedule takes away. Reduces the need for determination and willpower. This is a hard one. Okay, determination, willpower takes up a lot of energy. When you are constantly having to will yourself to do things, it's just draining, right? But when you have a schedule, when you know that certain things just happen at a certain time during the day, and you've created a habit out of it, it takes away that determination, willpower, and so you're not exhausting yourself. It reduces procrastination, which is a fascinating concept. I actually did not realize I was a procrastinator, but I should have known because I'm a perfectionist, and all perfectionists struggle with procrastination. We just call it different things. So I love schedules because it really helps me be the best that I can be by making me do things right then and there and knowing, you know what, it's not going to be perfect, but it's done. My business coach, Relika Schulte, she always reminds us, like, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be done. And so sometimes you just need to put yourself out there. You just need to clean your house, and it's not going to be perfect, but you know what? It's done. Take that off of your brain. You don't have to think about it anymore. A schedule also takes away stress. Stress is, the definition is pressure or tension on something. I bet many of you are feeling a lot of pressure and stress and tension. There's limited time in the day, and so to have things scheduled out that you don't have to worry about getting done because you just know what this certain time I need to do it, there's just peace. There's just a reduced stress. The next thing that it takes away is bad habits. So when you schedule your day with only things you want, your bad habits will be revealed, and then you can decide if you want to keep bad habits or not. And what's interesting is when we're actually faced with the things in our life that we don't really want to have in our life, we can't ignore them anymore. We can't. You can choose to ignore them, but it's going to play on your mind. In the back of your mind, you're going to be like, why am I doing this? Why do I keep doing this? So if you schedule maybe something good, a good habit over that bad habit, then that would help. Like, for example, maybe a bad habit would be being on social media too much or watching TV too much. Like, who watches TV? Watching Hulu or Netflix. How about that? When you schedule in your time so it works to your advantage, it really just, so it's revealed, and then you can like shift that time. So, okay, so maybe I want to be on social media and watch Hulu, Netflix, but let's schedule it in an hour at the end of the day after I've done everything. It just allows you freedom and to work through some of those things that you're trying to develop yourself to be done with in your life. Okay, we've kind of reached the end of the training. So we all know this. We all know pretty much everything that I just talked about. But if you're still like struggling with having a schedule and following it, there's usually something more going on deep inside us. There's barriers. We can have lots of head knowledge and there's lots of heart knowledge. But if they don't connect, it's because there's lies. It's because there's unresolved issues that we need to address. And so next week, we are going to talk about why you don't stick to your schedule and how you can start today. Maybe not today, but the day that I actually do the schedule. So thank you everyone for joining me. I really appreciate your time. I hope that this was helpful. Again, I wanted to do this training not to add more to your plate, not to add more to the things that you think you should do. These are ideas to incorporate into your life if you feel like you have the capacity and the time and the desire to do it. So thanks again, and I look forward to connecting with you on Tabitha Perry Life Coach, my Facebook page, or on Instagram. Thanks so much. Thanks, Shelly. Thanks, Courtney and Emily and Siri and everyone else who is on right now. Bye.